Hi everyone, today we will be making a very, very old cocktail. This is one of the oldest drink recipes that I've ever come across, and it is the drink recipe for the Bombay Presidency Punch with a modern adaptation from David Wondrich, and I guess it's kind of now called the Bombay
Government Punch.
There you go.
So the reason behind the adaptation is that some of the original recipes ingredients are really hard to find nowadays, or if not available at all. So this is David Wondrich's suggestion on the best way to replicate the Bombay Presidency Punch with today's ingredients.
So anyways, let's go and make this cocktail. So the first thing that we're gonna do is, there's a whole process to build this thing. I've already went ahead and made the Rich Simple. So this is 2 parts Demerara. So I think it's 1 cup of Demerara, half a cup of hot water. I've went ahead and chilled this down so we could just go ahead and use that now. Actually, do you wanna put the ice in first?
Oh, sure. We always forget that step.
So we're building the punch. The ice goes first, or else when you drop this ice cube in, it's gonna splash everywhere. So we're gonna
not
go
that
ahead
we've learned that from experience
No,
or anything.
not at all.
No, that would be ridiculous.
So this is the Rich
I love
Simple.
the color on that. It looks like molasses.
It does, absolutely. And then we have the lime juice, and I believe there's about 6 ounces of lime juice here.
We cheated and pre-measured everything.
Yeah, the last thing anybody on Facebook Live wants to see is us sitting here juicing limes for like 10 minutes.
Longest
Worst channel ever. Then we're gonna add 16 ounces of Jamaican rum. There you go, bottoms up.
That's a sound you don't often hear when making craft cocktails.
Yeah, glug, glug, glug. And then we're gonna add 8 ounces of cognac. Once again, this is a bit excessive on what to add to a
Quality.
punch.
This is a really nice cognac. It's what we had, but you really don't need to use something that's quite such a high quality for a punch like this.
Right, absolutely. There's some great VS's on the market. Actually, Camus makes a really great VS cognac, which is great for cocktails and very approachable in price. But yeah, that's 8 ounces there.
Now this last ingredient, the original recipe called for water, right?
It does, yeah, absolutely.
But if you listened to our podcast a couple weeks ago, one of the things that Chris mentioned a lot of people do in punches is to actually replace the water with tea.
Yeah, so since we're kind of like making our best guess on the flavors here, we want to add a little bit more funk. I mean, water obviously is very neutral. Everybody drink. The music starts. So yeah, we want to add a little bit more interest to it, and so we made just a kind of a strong green tea, and that'll help amplify the flavor a little bit. So that was 24 ounces of tea there as well.
I'm just stirring with a bar spoon. You can use whatever you have on hand.
Yeah, and so we went ahead and pre-chilled most of these ingredients. As you know, water is kind of the biggest enemy to punch. So the colder you can get your ingredients in the beginning, the less dilution you're going to have when you add that big format block of ice.
And you might have noticed when I did add that format block of ice, it was a big one. This is something we prepped in advance. Give it 24 hours. One thing you can do is if this punch bowl, I don't know if you can see it might be below the bar, it comes with a smaller punch bowl that it sits upon. You could actually use that to freeze the ice and then it'll be the same shape. But again, there's a little bit of a risk that comes with using glass.
Right.
So we just used a metal mixing bowl and froze that solid before throwing it in. And the nice thing about that, as we mentioned before, is it's got a lot less surface area than if we were just to throw in a whole bag of ice.
Right, absolutely.
And so you'll get a lot less dilution.
So there was a really interesting kind of evolution of the punch or de-evolution of the punch that I kind of came across. I thought was super interesting. Basically, punch was a big thing. Like that was a very big social marker. I think we touched upon this last time. But it quickly fell out of favor. Like in the 1700s, one of the queens was like, man, all the nobility, all they are just like drunk all day. They're just sloppy. They're kind of giving us a bad name.
His impression of the queen is just like spot on.
Yeah, she had a really deep voice, and she was a great queen. But so she kind of put a mandate out there, or kind of started to put some political pressure or pressure on it, and kind of pushed the drinking direction into more of cups. So when you look at Jerry Thomas's book, you'll see a lot of claret cups and other forms of cups, which is basically like a low ABV drink.
And that's that's really the key is that the ABV really dropped significantly. It's kind of a sangria style drink.
Right.
So they're probably wine based. They're
Wine-based.
lower alcohol content. So presumably that helped with the drunkenness problem in the court.
Right, absolutely. And the other thing is, so punches started to fall out of favor around the 1700s. Charles Dickens was a big entertainer. And one of the things he would do in the 1800s, I touched upon this, I think, at one of the podcasts, is he would have parties and make punches. And he would have this elaborate presentation while he was preparing the punch for his guests and tell a story. And, you know, it was like a thing. And he was like famously known for making punches because it was so old that he was kind of bringing them back. So that's kind of his...
That says something. If in the 1800s
OG
he was
hipster.
bringing it back.
Right, exactly. But yeah, and then in America around that time, they started going towards the julep and the cocktail. So in general, the punches really did start to fall out of favor. And just recently with obviously David Wondrich, quite a few bars across the United States and the world have really focused on bringing punches back into the spotlight.
Absolutely, but if you're talking about pre-prohibition cocktails, I don't know if you can get much more pre-prohibition than this. This is one of the earliest cocktail recipes there is.
Right.
And I think this is an excellent example. So let's go ahead and garnish.
Yep.
How do you like to do your
Just
lime wheels?
drop it right in there.
All right, I'll try
yeah.
not to splash here. I don't know if you can see that on camera, but it looks real nice from here.
Yeah, and then one of the other things that I came across, we'll put a bunch of nutmeg kind of grated across the top of it. One of the other things that I came across, which might be coincidence, it might be something else, but one of the big spices they were trading in India was nutmeg. So that might be one of the reasons why we see, I dropped it, why we see nutmeg used so much in punches. Yeah, so.
Plus, it's so aromatic. It's a great choice with any aged spirit. It tends to go really nicely. So.
Cool. There we are.
Shall we?
I think I would really like that.
Would
Looks
you
so
like?
good.
Would you like some?
Yes, please.
All right. And here's the test on where I dribble everywhere. Let's see if I can get this here. Now again, this is a pretty high proof cocktail, so don't drink it as if it were a sangria. You'll notice pretty quickly when you take your first sip.
Thank you.
There you go. And I dribbled. Oh man, everything was going so well. Cheers.
Well, cheers.
So if you are entertaining this holiday season and looking for an awesome cocktail to serve that you're not gonna have to be shaking all night, this is a really great choice. It's got a whole lot of history, a whole lot of funk.
Lots of funk.
Lots of funk, and it's frankly really delicious.
Yeah, absolutely. So the Bombay Government Punch, I hope you guys enjoy. And definitely check us out on our Facebook group. Link is abarabove.com/craft cocktail club. And we make videos like this every week in the group. It's a lot of fun and
we're live, so you can heckle.
Oh, absolutely. All the heckling is highly encouraged. But people ask a lot of great questions, a lot of feedback, and it's just a really fun community if you love cocktails.
It's a lot of fun. abarabove.com/craft cocktail club. Well, see you next week.
Cheers, everyone.
Cheers. Pinkies up.
Pinkies up.